Make sure that watch still there.
That's right.
That watch still shining, boy.
Damn right.
It's still shining, boy.
You know, I don't like I hate that he got the oblique injury now going into this weekend with the Eagles because I wanted to see him play against the Eagles because I felt like the first game was against the Carolina Panthers, who ain't the Eagles.
Yeah.
And if this brother had gone and shown out, it's all about the QB2 position because you know Joe Flacco's going to start the season because he's the QB1 getting most reps.
Yeah.
But you saw that he could position himself. Nevertheless, though, it is what it is. I think he'll ultimately end up being successful for the Browns. Why are you wearing this Lions jersey?
Oh, no, I be throwing jerseys.
So you just, I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure you wasn't trying to send a message about what the Lions are going to do this year. Even though I think they got a chance. I think they got a chance. I'm checking.
What is an oblique? What is
over here, y'all? Come on, be fit.
Oh,
The side muscle over here.
Educate us.
Tell us movement in the gym.
Let me ask you this question real quick, though. Let's go back to the Fest tour right here, the Coulda Fest tour.
Yes,
Why
yes.
that title?
You know, Coulda Fest, we did it last year in Atlanta. It was an amazing turnout. We had a lot of surprise guests, Meek Mill, Glorilla, amongst a lot of other great artists. And, you know, it goes along with my Coulda Been Records label. You know, I had Coulda Been Love, Coulda Been House, Coulda Been Audition.
Hilarious.
So it's just part of the brand, and I think why not bring it on tour and, like, bring this festival everywhere? It was a very funny music and comedy tour.
Okay,
So, yeah.
so I know you guys are all familiar with this idea that rappers want to be athletes, athletes want to be rappers. Do athletes want to be comedians? Like what? I know you have a lot of athlete friends.
Yeah.
I know rappers
that
do.
go?
T.I. was doing the comedic.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And when you're out with your guys, and obviously you guys have tremendous respect for the various crafts in which you are successful, is there a dynamic of like...
Yeah, when I get around athletes, they typically know. They can always tell by like the stature, how I walk, and like just my athletic build. That's why I wear shorts all the time. Yeah, because I try to show people. I grew up, I played piano, I played karate, I did soccer, football, baseball. I've done it all. So it's like
Hold on.
Okay, we don't got to show this. No, we don't have to. No, that's not, no, we don't.
We got the receipt.
Hold on. Yo big ass played soccer. Come on now.
But see, y'all
running up and down that field.
No, that ain't the right one. See,
not the
y'all
right one?
got to play the Little League highlights, man. I was better then.
Oh.
Like I said, it's been a lot of years since I've been
I
off.
tell you what, your feet were set though. You got a great knee bend on that jump shot.
Yeah. It's been some years. Yo, don't show that stuff, man. We don't got to show none of the highlights.
Come on, man. You know they keep receipts.
Next time I'll bring my Little League receipts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got
we
all
can't
my
wait.
stuff.
We're looking forward to you coming back. All right, let's stay in the NBA, though, because that was the Celebrity All-Star Game. Fan of SGA? MVP picks up a title.
Yes.
How are you feeling about his chances to repeat, given that we've seen 7 different champions in the last 7 years?
Honestly, I went to go to game 1 courtside and watched him play, and I've never seen anybody. And they didn't win that game, but I think he put up close to 50
That
or
was the
40-something points. And I just watched the way he was playing. He's the most relaxed player, shooter I've ever seen
Nothing
in my
phases
life.
him.
I promise you,
Yes,
nothing.
I've witnessed.
Step back, too. Like, a majority of the shots he shot that night was like step backs, off the dribble, one hand, look back, cross, tween, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, the way he plays is so smooth. I really think he has a really good chance, especially if they add to the roster on the, you know, they need some players off the bench to come.
Your top 3 teams in the Western Conference.
Come on, let's go.
Jesus, man.
It shouldn't be that hard.
It's a little tricky. I got you, Drewski. It's a little tricky.
Yeah, I want to, probably Lakers.
Top 3?
You said Lakers?
In order?
Going off of me.
Oh, your
going
heart.
Off of me.
This is your heart.
Yeah, this is where my heart lives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is where my heart
I
lives.
didn't ask you.
You know, I
about your
love
heart.
Bron, man.
We got to clarify for first.
Yeah,
We gotta
man.
clarify. Your heart and then your head. Come on, let's go.
Is Milwaukee on the West?
No, hell no. End the subject. We had to change the subject.
Yeah,
They're
my
going to
bad.
bring up a walk-in.
Yeah, my bad.
Come on.
Okay.
Geography.
Oklahoma City, they're the champions.
Lakers and Lakers. That's all I got. Hey, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I said. It don't.
Drewski.
Oh, my Lord.
Now, Drewski, I'm gonna need you to have a little bit more sense of the teams
Here
on
we
the
go.
sports show.
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's go to your era. We saw
Lakers.
We saw you at SummerSlam. It was the first time that event was 2 days. How'd you like that experience?
Nah, that was dope. Honestly, I got to open up the show. It was a cold open, and I think, you know, just seeing the people that did it before me, like Mark Wahlberg, Kevin Hart, it was amazing to be able to follow that and also open up the show as well. Yeah, this is a clip from when I was at the show. Yeah, I don't know.
You trying to get in the ring? What's up?
Maybe so. I think a lot of the wrestlers back there, they was kind of intimidated when I was walking in the tunnel. Yeah, they was looking at me. You know, they see the size, man. That's what it is. But you know, I don't phase them like that. I think I definitely have a chance to get in that ring. I saw Jelly Roll Jelly Roll got in there.
Yeah.
So no. Jelly Roll was fighting.
No, he was fighting inspo.
No, I said Jelly Roll was fighting. He wasn't in there to sing. So if Jelly Roll could do it, I feel like I have a big chance.
We're just gonna wake up the dormant muscle on your body, and it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be fantastic. Drewski.
I gotta work on my obliques.
Yes.
Yeah.
Core strength. It was so good to have you, Drewski.
Thank y'all.
Best of luck with the Coulda Fest tour. We're all
To get to the playoffs, he can't miss the whole season. Please don't get me wrong. But as long as that brother is ready for the playoffs, we good. But I expect him to miss a few games.
Listen, my whole thing is, number one, he hasn't taken one snap in training camp. Not one snap. And it's not about, whether he's ready for week one. Can you hold up for 17 weeks?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why
at 37 years old,
priority.
Right, exactly. Like,
I don't care if you got to wait till week 5.
Listen, when you talk about backs, those things can act up at any time. So that's what my concern is for Matthew Stafford.
Baby, if I had a bad back, 17 weeks of regular life would be challenging, let alone for football. So I totally get it. But let's keep it moving, shall we?
We appreciate that heads up.
You're welcome. The Chiefs wideout, Rashee Rice, is expected to have his disciplinary hearing with the NFL on September 30th. Last month, Rice was sentenced to 30 days in jail and 5 years probation for his role in a multi-car crash. Rice is likely to be able to play the first 4 weeks of the season before any potential discipline is imposed. Through 3 weeks last season, Rashee Rice was leading the NFL in catches and ranked second in receiving yards. Then an injury to his right knee in week 4 ended his season. Patrick Mahomes was at his best in 2024 when he targeted Rice, completing 75% of those passes and is averaging 9 yards per target. All right, so a lot to take in, but Mina Kimes joins us now. Hey, friend, you look lovely.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to get into this Chiefs offense, Mina, and the question is this offense being underrated this season?
I think so. I think it's more likely not that this Chiefs offense finishes as a top 5 unit or just outside the top 5. And, I think folks remember them from the Super Bowl, the offensive line getting destroyed by the Eagles. But the reality was, while the Chiefs offense wasn't explosive for most of last season, all of last season, they were one of the most efficient offenses in the league, finishing top 10 in success rate, DVOA. They had the highest time of possession per drive of any team in the NFL, second highest third down conversion rate. And now you reintroduce Rashee Rice back into the mix. He's going to be suspended at some point. He's going to miss a few games. But having him for much of the season and certainly at the end in the playoffs is so massive. I feel like it's being slept on a bit. You highlighted it there with those stats. Before he got hurt and in the second half of his rookie season, he was one of the most productive receivers in football. I think he was exactly what this Chiefs offense was missing last year. So to get him back, coupled with hopefully some improvements on the offensive line over the course of the year, and by the way, Patrick Mahomes, still the best quarterback on earth. I just think this Chiefs offense, to me, is going to be better than last year. And last year, they were still pretty damn good.
I don't think it's about them being it's about us doubting their abilities in terms of the score of football. You got Patrick Mahomes behind the quarterback spot. You know what you're capable of, particularly if you protect them. Now, they've lost both Super Bowls by more than 18 points. There's only one other quarterback in history that has had multiple Super Bowl losses by that kind of margin, and that's John Elway. So, if there's a negative connotation to be attached to Patrick Mahomes, that would be it. That would be all, because the brother is pretty close to perfection when it comes to what his abilities are behind the quarterback position in terms of winning. But in the end, they're not sitting here as the reigning defending Super Bowl champions, Mina. It is him. It is the Philadelphia Eagles. And we got to take into account what happened. He couldn't be protected. They got slaughtered. Just like he couldn't be protected against Tampa. They got slaughtered. What are we talking about when we talk about Baltimore? It's not just Lamar Jackson. And we talk about what their defense could do. We talk about what Buffalo's defense could do. We're talking about what the Denver Broncos defense is projected and speculated to be able to do. So all of those things give us an indication that the road to prosperity is going to be a bit more difficult for the Kansas City Chiefs this year than it has been in recent memory. You look at their dominance, for crying out loud. I mean, they've won the AFC West every single year. They've been to about 6 AFC championship games. And, they've been pretty damn dominant. At some point in time, people are saying it's got to end. And I think that this year is the year that it does.
Listen, I think I've said this many times this offseason. The Kansas City Chiefs had the worst offensive personnel last year in the Patrick Mahomes era. Like, there's nowhere for them to go but up. this year. And think about this. Last year, they had a guard playing tackle. Guard playing tackle. Their top wide receiver was injured most of the year. Hollywood Brown was injured a good chunk of the season. Okay, a diminished Travis Kelce. Isaiah Pacheco's hurt, and all they did was go 15-2. Think about that. All they did was go 15-2. And so now when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they made improvements on the offensive line, particularly at left tackle. Okay, all the guys that I just mentioned as far as being injured, those guys are getting back.
Yeah.
Those guys are coming back healthy. Isaiah Pacheco is going to be back at the running back position. And so you would think now that not only are they going to be in a more efficient offense, but they're going to be in a more explosive offense because all the memories. See, I think here's the thing with the Kansas City Chiefs. We have so many memories of the Kansas City Chiefs with Tyreek Hill, those explosive plays. But I think what you look at is they evolved. They have evolved as an offense, but I think they will be much more explosive this year.
To all of your point, Patrick Mahomes had a career worst 36 sacks last year. Obviously, Travis Kelce put up career low numbers in terms of his receiving yards. So everybody agrees that this offense is being underrated currently.
Yes, but let me say this, and I'm glad that I'm going to say this with Mina here because this lady knows her football, so you'll get where I'm coming from, Mina. When I bring this up, there's certain numbers, Woody. You know, there's certain numbers, Mina, that we just can't ignore. Work with me here, Eminem. Let me throw a couple of Super Bowl stats to you because that's the last time we really saw them, right? I had my research get this. I just want to remind America and the world what we all saw. The Kansas City offense, the Super Bowl 59, did not pass midfield until the last few minutes of the third quarter.
Oh, man.
The first 9 drives into the third quarter, they had 6 punts, 2 interceptions, and 1 turnover on downs. They became the first team all season, regular season or postseason, where the offense didn't run a single play in the opponent's territory in its first 9 drives. 12 of Kansas City's 13 offensive drives went for 5 plays or less. What I'm saying to you, I understand, Mina, because not only did I watch and not only do I know, but I'm brilliant because I know I'm not. I steal brilliance from people like yourself, Mina. I learned from you and Notorious Woody here. Here's the deal. When that residue of that beatdown is embedded in our memories, you know it's in theirs. And all I'm saying to you is, the aura of invincibility came along with their success.
That's true.
And I'm saying that has gone away now. Now you're looking at them like, if we could just get to him. If we could just find a way to get to him just a second quicker. I mean, we could do something. I'm just saying, if you're an opponent in the National Football League, you don't look at them with the same aura of invincibility that you were looking at them before that beatdown. And I know they got beat down against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but that one, you remember, that was COVID. You know, or there's so much that happened in that season, you know. This was different last year.
Mina, I'm not going to hold you, Mina. For me, this was one of the bigger sporting event letdowns I think I had ever been a part of because you were expecting such a great game, and it was not that.
That was an ass kicking.
But I think, Stephen A., you just brilliantly laid out why the Chiefs offense is underrated, because we as football fans have the memories of ants and only remember the last time we saw them. And yes, the last time we saw them, they were getting beat down by the Eagles because of their offensive line. But you have to take a bigger picture view. The fact that they got to the Super Bowl with, as Damian correctly said, the worst offensive skill players of Patrick Mahomes' career, doesn't that make you think,
my concern is a team that should be in the conversation
with
when we
those
get to the
players
playoffs.
and those
37-year-old
issues?
quarterback back.
Why shouldn't
has been
they be
acting up
better
where he
this
hasn't
season?
been debilitated. Obviously, since he's not been able to do anything. So I'm not worried about today or this event. I'm worried about when you play the first game of the week, how long does it take for you to get ready for the next game? When we start talking about going throughout the duration of the season. That's my only concern. I know you can manage it. I know they got needles with a lot of good medicine in it that can get you ready and get you through a season. But ultimately, when you start talking about Matthew Stafford and his back and the way that he expects himself to play and how much he means to this team going forward, I'm concerned. I'm highly concerned.
And get your
it's not just Matthew Stafford here.
Like somebody walking through you and just, you know.
So whenever Matthew Stafford does something,
I actually got love for I actually love the brother. I actually love the brother. But there's a difference between Pacquiao getting caught by one punch from Juan Manuel Marquez and from the beatdown Errol Spence took at the hands of Terrence Crawford. You see the difference? There's certain things that are just very, very, very difficult to recover from. You got to go out there and play again. No doubt. Kansas City's going to be formidable. We know they no joke. But when you look at what happened to them, you do find yourself saying, damn, they can be had. You can't. It's one of them things that somebody gets to them. Yeah. And somehow, some way, somebody's touching Patrick Mahomes a bit more than usual. It might remind them of Super Bowl 59. And that residue might affect you.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Since we're talking about boxing right now.
Here we go.
So we talk about boxing.
Yes.
Do you believe in styles make fights?
Yes.
So in the case of the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, you could make the case that that was a horrible matchup for the Kansas City Chiefs.
But what if Denver could get to Patrick Mahomes like that? What if Baltimore could get to Patrick Mahomes like that? What if Buffalo could get to Patrick Mahomes like that? We got a different problem.
But they didn't.
We got a problem. Hold on.
They didn't. I feel like by your logic, the Chiefs losing in the Super Bowl was worse than those other teams who lost to the Chiefs along the way.
I think that, no. What I'm saying is because you got humbled to that degree, I think that affects you a little bit.
You think the psychological effect with the other?
I think it's going to affect them a little bit. I just believe this. I just believe it.
I will just say this, though. I do think, and maybe the run by the Chiefs that had previously been so dominant is totally worthy of respect. But I do think sometimes success is not always linear, right? And we've seen that across sports. Woody, you have said it. All of our NFL analysts have said how hard it is to get back repeatedly.
Well, I would say that success is rented. And is rented and payment is due every single day you're out there. Okay. And so for the Kansas City Chiefs, they've been on top for a long time. Here's my only thing I'll say to you, Stephen A.
Okay.
As much as you talk about the beatdown with Philadelphia and so on and so forth. Josh Allen still hasn't gotten past him.
Oh, child.
Lamar Jackson still hasn't gotten past him.
That's what Mina's saying, too. I hear y'all loud and clear. I hear y'all loud and clear. But they ain't the same.
The only two people that's gotten past Patrick Mahomes is the great Tom Brady.
You could be punch drunk. You could be punch drunk.
And now, okay. All right. Well, all right. That was passionate. We got to go to the bump before I lose my fight. In the state of
Joey
Louisiana,
Aguilar is going to be a little challenging for Tennessee. I think Joey's in 3 years. He also had a little bit of turnover issues last year, and that was playing Sun Belt football. Coming into the SEC is going to be very challenging, so I'm a little concerned about that, including some of the losses they also had at their skill positions, at wide receiver. I think they'll still be able to make up some of what Dylan Sampson brought them at running back last year, but given what we saw with that switch in spring, I'm concerned about Tennessee.
We just want to hear your reflections.
I want to discuss this with you as the fellas have kind of weighed in on those teams. I want you to weigh in from a global perspective. This is your 30th year on the sidelines of the biggest sporting events that we all watch. You've seen many iterations of college football.